All right, guys. Well, I'm here with Daraja. We're in Orlando for NPC Nationals.
All right, guys. Welcome to the video. This is Thursday, the day before NPC Nationals. So this is the first year in a long time, and this is Christina, who came all the way from Colorado. And this is the first time that they actually had Nationals on one day, so prejudging and finals on Friday. So I'm really glad they changed that up. And this is Caitlyn. You might recognize her. She just did the Clash Championship All-South in Orlando a couple weeks ago and won the overall and actually got the free entry for this show. So we were coming to this show. It was our third show of the season, our first national show together, and the goal was getting in first callouts. You know, I met her a year ago, so we've been working for one entire year on this goal. This was kind of a funny moment. We were just doing our little circuit. You know, I like to train the day before. I do like to get a little bit of soreness in the glutes going into the show. I think it just helps with glute volume on show day. But they were just doing their lunges at the same time. Now, I only had two competitors at this show. With the show being so late in the season, most of my competitors were done competing or they were starting prep for the spring shows. And actually, the Arnold Classic is only 13 weeks after this. So the way that this season's changed, it's really put a strain on, me as a coach, you know, going to shows as early as February, March, and then we're still going to shows late in the year. And here's Miss Daraja. She is, without a doubt, one of the premier posing coaches. So having her come in, she's actually a couple weeks out from the Olympia and a week out from the Battle of Texas Pro Show. So she came over to Orlando so that I could see her personally. But then, you know, she also lends a hand. And this is Caitlyn. Now, this is the posing room at Iron Religion Gym. Always nice to have the Iron Religion Gym because it's such a good facility for being one day out. Now, Caitlyn, at this point, was looking just a little bit flat. So we actually put her carbs up to, I believe, 330 or fats up to 80. And that included, we fit a burger and a fries in there just for the extra sodium. This is Christina, came all the way from Colorado. Christina was someone that shape is incredible, balance is incredible. The focus with her, she has a really high glute insertion. So we were working on bringing her conditioning very lean to show that off. And I don't know that we quite got where we needed to be. Based on, you know, the videos, stage shots, I think we can be a little bit better. Now here's Stephen talking to his client. So Stephen also had two clients here. This is Samantha Bartley, who won an overall, actually I think the same day as Caitlyn did, but she won hers in the Pacific Northwest at a very good show as well. So, and her conditioning was spot on. She actually looked pretty full on this day. I didn't think that she needed to be a whole lot fuller. You know, she's a taller competitor, but great lines, great detail. So, and let's have a little chat with Daraja about what's going on here. Samantha looks amazing.
All right, guys. Well, I'm here with Daraja. We're in Orlando for NPC Nationals. But the real reason we were meeting up is because you are in peak week number 1.
Oh my gosh. It feels like so much has been building up to this moment. So I'm just glad it's finally here.
So the big news this week that we kind of quietly announced is that she's actually jumping into the Battle of Texas. Is it Galvanized or Battle Up Productions?
Battle Up Productions.
Battle Up Productions, which is Freddie Naidu. Now, the reason I asked that is because we freaking love Texas.
Texas loves us.
Daraja won Republic of Texas last year. She won the Dallas Pro this year. And this is a sneaky show because it's a week before the Olympia and it's a qualifier for the next Olympia. So it's like a double whammy. So we want to go in there, nail it. Miss Daraja just got married.
I did.
She's Miss Widemoyer.
You said it right.
Boom, I've been practicing.
Good job.
We're still going to call her Hillamoyer. But so she got married October 30th, which was kind of like a fun little weekend getaway. We all went to Boca.
Yeah.
Like the whole wedding party was Pro Physique. It was pretty cool.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah, I was like, damn, that's a fit.
I know.
Wedding party. So that was a great event. And then I felt like after that, your body has just been on fire responding.
You know what? All I have to say, prepping, wedding planning, not ideal, 0 out of 10, do not recommend. But if you're willing to accept the challenge, go for it?
So she did a few things this year. She scheduled the wedding around kind of the competing schedule. So we got qualified before the wedding.
Yes,
stress
we did.
was off. Because
Yeah.
if the stress would have been on after the show,
That would have been a whole different thing. I was definitely stressed out, and I think my body showed it. My face showed it. I started breaking out. You do what you can to manage the stress, but you can only do so much. Your body, you know.
See that ring?
It was worth it, you know?
Man.
I think we had a plan.
Swim, you'll sink right to the bottom.
Honestly, the biggest thing though, my advice, have a plan, execute the plan, and don't second guess, go back and try to make decisions after you've already decided what you're gonna do. Just keep going in that direction.
Yeah, so Daraja lives in Jacksonville, I live in Tampa, so we met in the middle here in Orlando for an in-person check-in. She just got back from the Mannion gym, the photo gym, got feedback on what we need to do, which was basically just, we're right there.
Yeah, we're right there.
So we decided right after that to put our contract in.
Yes.
So she and I will be traveling to Dallas next weekend.
So excited.
And going straight to Vegas. We're gonna be staying with Brett for the first part of the week. So
That's
we're
gonna
gonna
be fun.
train in the glute garage, or whatever he calls his
The glute lab.
the glute lab in his garage. So we're gonna have a really good week in Vegas. First time ever, we're gonna have 4 Olympians there. So Daraja's got company backstage finally.
Which is, that's freaking awesome, man. Can we
So-
just congratulate you on having 4 Olympians?
It doesn't feel like that. It feels like
It will when you get
stress.
there. It feels like stress.
So yeah, no, I'm excited for that too. For all the girls, because everybody else that's going, it's their first Olympia. For you, it's your third.
Yeah.
Right? So they're just going to like see where they fit in. We have expectations.
Yes.
We are fighting right now. We are grinding, putting you in position to be the best you've ever been. And hands down, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it feels good to look at the photos and get the feedback and know that our efforts have paid off, because you don't always know. You're kind of just like, I'm going with it. I hope it works out, and it's falling into place. So I'm excited.
Yeah, for those that aren't real familiar with contest prep, the hardest part of prep is when you're pushing yourself, you're depleted, you're run down, and you can't really see the changes that are happening because you're so close to the situation.
Trusting the process.
So she does all the work. She preps her meals. She does the cardio. My job is to make sure she doesn't work too hard or not hard enough.
He's
and
the
find
pilot.
that balance.
He's
right?
the pilot.
So, yeah, and I mean, this is 4 years together. I mean, 15, 16 shows at this point. I used to remember the number, but we did 4 this year, so I think it's 16 or 17
It's
now.
up there.
Yeah.
Almost 20.
So the point now is to bring her in at her all-time best and make the judge's job as hard as possible to move her out of that middle, like keep you in the middle of that Olympia first call out. So that's our job, and we're coming to do it. So this will be our last time seeing each other until I see her in
Next
Dallas
week?
in 5 or 6 days.
I'm excited.
Thursday night. We'll have a great time, and then we'll see her every day for the rest of the year till Olympia's over.
I can't believe this year's flown by, man. But I'm pumped.
It's weird. It flew by, and then it paused, and then it like started again, and it feels like it's the next year, but it's still this year.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me. So, any closing thoughts before you drive home?
Let's fucking go.
Watch your mouth. There's children watching this channel.
Let's freaking go, man.
There we go. All right. I was just kidding.
Edit and post.
So, yeah, proud of this one. Excited to see what we do. Excited to go to Texas.
Thank you
this
guys
whole
for
year.
watching and supporting.
Yeah.
And I'm excited that we're gonna get to show you guys a little bit something.
Let's go.
All right, so just had to pause and show you guys what Daraja's been up to. She's got Olympia on her freaking fingernails. How cool is that? So this is the Backstage booty band. This is the invention that I came up with that me and Brett are business partners on. So it is basically a band to help you pump up your glutes backstage. And this was our booth at NPC Nationals. Look at that stage, guys. Phenomenal stage. You know, doesn't really do it justice on my little camera here, but just a great venue. Orange County Convention Center, connected to the hotel. Some of my favorite people. This is Lauren Dannemiller, was my first national champion at this show 5 years ago in 2017. And this is, of course, Miss Brittany Hamilton, who just qualified for the Olympia, her first time. So we found some good lighting to check out Caitlyn's fullness and conditioning. And I felt like she was definitely fuller than the day before. And, you know, Caitlyn's a tall one. She's around that 5'9" range. She's about 135 pounds on stage. So with her, we've got to keep the muscles full. She actually flattened out quite a bit during the clash. We had to keep feeding her all day. So this show, she didn't really run into that issue. We were able to feed her going into the show a little bit more effectively, so we didn't have any problems. This is how the glute band, the Backstage booty band works. Wraps around your shoes, you push, and it puts blood in the glutes. So you actually get some blood volume in the glutes. Here's Caitlyn using it. Look how lean she is. You can actually see some glute striations. So, yeah, and these are brand new ones. They get a little bit more stretched once you've used them a few times. So I'll put a link below if you guys are looking for a Backstage glute band. So this is the call out for Class G. Class G has Samantha Bartley. Samantha Bartley went straight to the middle, right? There she is, splitting center. Now what's cool is the girl to her right is Shauna Steplight. She was in the overall with Caitlyn at the Clash. So it's cool to see people that you've seen working all year moving into that middle position. Now, as a coach, they were really taking their time here. But the one thing I noticed was Samantha never moved off the center spot. Stephen, who is her coach, is losing his mind right now. He's right next to me. You know, I know the feeling, you know, when your client is in the middle, when they keep doing these turns, you're just hoping that they don't see something they don't like. But honestly, the conditioning on Samantha and then the rest of this group, even though she doesn't have as full of glutes as some of the girls, her conditioning was spot on. She was super tight. Balance was fantastic. And I think, although Shauna's splitting center, I think she swaps and goes to 3-4. And then this young lady comes to the middle who was very conditioned. I think, honestly, if this girl had posed a little differently, she might have taken the class. She poses there, you see, with the elbow bent, looks a little more figure. It's hard to say, but she had a really great structure, fullness, everything was there. But overall, a really good lineup. But when you see Samantha holding center with 3 different people and never getting moved, you kind of get the feeling like, okay, she's definitely getting her pro card, but she's likely winning the class because top 2 get their pro card at this show, right? So if there's an even number of girls on stage, generally speaking, the 2 in the middle are going to turn pro. Now, this was Class H, the largest class of the day, and this is Caitlyn's class. Now, the nice thing is that her last name is Bell, so she started off right in dead center. So as a coach, you're just like, okay, let's just keep you there. That's where we want you. I thought everything was on for her. I thought as far as like fullness, balance, everything looked good. So the largest class of the day, they also called out 10 girls. That's right, 10. Some of the call outs, they only had 6. But for this class, they really wanted to see a bunch of girls. They weren't super clear who they wanted. And so after they do this turn here, I believe they actually moved Caitlyn out. And I said, oh, no, that's not what you want. They moved Caitlyn out from the 1-2 position to like the 5-6 position. But I don't know. I just had this confidence with her. I seeing her in person up on that stage, I felt like, okay, that was a mistake. They're gonna correct that. They're gonna bring her right back to the middle. So once they turn to the back again, she did a really good job. Also, if you notice, she's slightly angled in towards the head judge. You got to remember, when you got this many people on stage, you want to pose towards the middle. And I think that gets her right back to the middle. So when they're looking at the ladies from the back, you know, they're looking for glute fullness, separation, balance top to bottom. And so, yeah, so that was exciting. So boom, now right back to the middle. So out of 10, she's splitting middle again. So now the fact that the other young lady got moved to the middle, that made me think that potentially she might be winning the class. But again, top 2 turn pro. So my focus was, let's keep her here and let the judges decide. Now, they also had not compared these 2 side by side, so I wanted to see, you know, what the comparison would look like. You know, it's a little bit of apples and oranges. I think Caitlyn has the better overall structure. This young lady may have had a little bit more density to her glutes. I thought Caitlyn had a little more upper body width, better overall shape. The young lady that's in the middle with her is kind of like hiding her back shoulder. But as long as she's in the middle, I'm happy, right? There's a lot of confusion going on here. Give you guys a little look at the backstage, what goes on. Competitors have lots of stuff in their bags. They got food, they got weights, they got water. I have my girls bring salt and pickles to have some of that extra sodium. So I just wanted to give you guys a little view of what it looks like backstage and what people have in their bags. She also brings her little blanket. So yeah, good stuff backstage. All right, so going into the awards, you just basically Class G awards, you see they're announcing the top 5 at finals, and you just want to hear in third place and then know Samantha. So we know Samantha's a pro, so now we're just waiting to hear who's first, who's second, and there it is, Samantha Bartley, coached by Stephen Beaugrand, and she is a new IFBB Bikini Pro, the Class G champion for 2022. And that means she's going to the overall pose down where they will decide the overall champion. And I thought she had a very good chance to stand out in that as well, based on everything I'd seen all day. So congrats to Samantha. Congrats to Steven, new Bikini Pros. It's also the most Bikini Pros or IFBB Pros we've ever had at Pro Physique this year, just our best year ever. And then so for Class H, which is for hella tall, we just don't want to hear our name ever. Caitlyn, just let it keep going. So once we hear third place, okay, now we know these girls are both pros. So then who gets the win? Caitlyn gets second, so she gets her pro card at her 4th show ever. She's 21 years old. Would have loved to got the win, but our next goal is going to be to get to the Olympia stage. So that's what we're going to focus on. All right, guys, so they start the overall, Class A through Class H. And this was a different overall. I guess in the end, it actually made sense. But, there was a lot of competitors that I thought potentially could have won this. I thought, if I was just doing the eye test, I thought that the Class D winner, glute fullness, balance, I thought she had the package that stood out to me the most. But they didn't move anybody. They literally just did one turn to the front. So it made me think, okay, they probably knew who they liked going into this because they didn't really do much comparison. This was it. And actually the young lady in the pink ends up winning it. But I had her in the Class D winning it. But there they are. Overall, congrats Samantha, congrats Stephen, congrats Caitlyn. What a great weekend and great nationals. Now again, the line to get feedback. Look how excited Stephen is with his pro card, with Claudia, with Samantha. Sandy and Becky literally stayed after. And then look who showed up, Miss Laura Lee Chapados. Got to have a chat with her. She's chatting with Sandy, so great to see her. And then we had a little bit of opportunity. Brittany Hamilton also came. Now she is 2 weeks out from the Olympia. So Brittany and I wanted to get a little check on her conditioning. It's been a few weeks since she's been on stage. So my goal with her was just to check her lines and details. I think she and I both agreed we're a couple pounds from where we want to be. And so we're going to push to get a little bit tighter before we fill back out for the Olympia. And then Brittany's actually someone I'm really excited about for the year ahead because this was our first year together. And we went from 7th to 6th to 2nd to 1st in our first 4 shows together. So I think we're going to have some fun together next season. She's not tired. She's not run down. And then, so we're going to make a run at quite a few of the bigger pro shows next year, put her name on the board. And, we're going to shoot for that second group at the Olympia. All right, guys, road trip is over. Weekend is over.
Finito.
Couldn't ask for much better, guys. Great weekend with some great competitors. The booth was fun. We met some cool people. Class G champion Samantha. Class H second place Caitlyn. 2 IFBB pros at the last national show of the year.
I mean, I'd say that's a pretty gosh darn good weekend.
Yeah, we brought 4 competitors and half of them turned pro, so that's a good ratio. Numbers were really good for nationals, but the depth of the lineups was way down from a typical national show. Lots of good talent. I think what's exciting is I see a lot of potential up on that stage, and I know these girls are going to go back to the drawing board. They're going to train hard. They're going to come back better. So I think we're going to see another resurgence probably earlier to middle to next year.
Yep, and I think a lot of girls probably took some time off to do the same thing, make those improvements.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing some of those faces come back next year too and really kill the stage as well.
Yeah, so we've got Stephen and I are going on a little ski trip with our ladies on Monday. Then I'm heading to Dallas for the Battle of Texas. Then I'm meeting Stephen in Vegas for amateur and Olympia.
Olympia!
So lots to come. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna get back, drop Stephen off now, get back to my house, and then that's it. Anything else?
Ah.